watched a video the other day, a guy explaining how to shift your bike, going from small to larger cogs, and the relationship with the chainring, pointing out the more you get into cross-chain situations, more friction you encounter, and the more you're going to lose off of your wattage. Not to mention how much more wear it's going to put on your drivetrain. I mention that because one of the techniques that he uses in shifting between his chain rings is one that I fell into a while back, primarily because I've only got a 7-speed, so if I'm in my lower chain ring and I get toward the upper end of the cogs and start to feel like I can push a little bit harder, I need to move up to my bigger chain ring. I simultaneously shift to my upper chain ring and shift down one cog at the same time, so that when I do engage the larger chain ring, I move from a cog that would give me a substantial amount of drag, if you will, or a lot more resistance to overcome. Too big a ratio, in other words. So yeah, that's one of the things that he pointed out. So I said, yeah, I know that. You've been doing that all along. But it's kind of fun to find out some of the nuances about road biking and cycling, and discovering that, hey, you know, you're not the only one that's doing it that way, and makes a lot of sense, and good for you. It's one of those things that I try to explain to Susan every so often, who I'm kind of training, giving her instructions on writing, and that's not an easy thing to pick up. So little by little she's getting more and more sophisticated in her writing, but I still find that when I'm riding behind her, I can really hear her shifting, and I have to constantly remind her, lay off the power when you're shifting, get off the pressure. I've been trying to get her to adapt a technique that I use to begin with, which is just before I shift, I would literally stop pedaling. Stop, pedal, shift, pedal. Stop pedaling, shift, pedal. And little by little, that stop pedaling turns into a slight pause, which is the same thing as just taking the pressure off. So, trying to get her to get into that habit, stop pedaling and shifting, to hopefully get her to develop much better habits. And I used to do the same thing when I first rode. I mean, shifting all over the place. Gears would be smacking into each other. When I first learned the technique of taking the pressure off before you shift, I could not believe how much different my bike felt. So anyway, saw that video recently and I said, yeah, know what you're talking about. Nice day.